What is up, internet? I'm in my new garage. As you can see, the van fits pretty good. There's about 5 feet of room up here. I got a bunch of stuff everywhere because I'm still finishing moving, but kind of coming at you a little old school because I don't have my GoPro, so this is all on my phone, but I'm going to try and fix the steering shake on the Acti today. As some of you might remember, last time I got some parts in the mail in order to do this repair on the van. So I have the center link for the steering, and then I have some tie rod ends, and then I also got in the mail some bushings which hold the stabilizer bars to the frame. And that's actually where the jack points are on the front of the van. That's where you put your jack stands when you pop the van up. So I'm going to do that right now, and thanks for watching. All right, so I got the car jacked up and I took the wheels off so I could just have a little more room without bumping into stuff. I don't think it's 100% necessary. What we're doing is that we need to take the center link off, which is held on with a big bolt. This big nut up in here, I think it's a 25 mil. And then we need to remove it from the idler arm. And then we need to disconnect the tie rod ends from the knuckles on the outside, and then we'll take it off as one piece, and then we'll remove the tie rods from in here, and then we will start to replace some stuff. All right, so it's a little bit later in the day. I had some errands that I needed to run, so I'm back at it on the van, and I've had a little bit of change in plans. So after looking at everything, I found out that my tie rod ends that I bought are the wrong ones, and I will show you why. So these are the tie rod ends that I ordered, and if you can see that this is the female threaded end, and on the van, I need ones that have the male threaded end. These new ones, which I was told would work, are no longer gonna be able to work. So I need to probably put these back up on eBay and sell them, and I need to order the correct ones for the van and the chassis number, because the problem with these other ones is that these were said that they would be compatible, but these are actually for an older Acti. So we're going to put these away and just start working on the center link. So earlier I had said that I was going to remove the tie rod ends first and the center link and take it all off as one piece, but I think it's going to be easier if I use my pickle bar to pull these off while I still have something sturdy to get some leverage on, and then pop off the center link from there. So that's what I'm gonna do. With a little bit of convincing with my pickle fork, I was able to get the center link off, and This did ruin the boots on the ends for the Centerlink, but since I'm replacing it with a new one, it doesn't really matter. Be prepared to get some grease everywhere, and I want to show you kind of a side-by-side comparison of the new versus the old. So obviously you know which one is the old one and which is the replacement one. The boots on the old one are really worn out, and I obviously broke them with my pickle fork. The bushings are very worn. Yeah, you can see that there's a good amount of play right here. And I think this may be the main culprit for my shaky steering. There is not supposed to be, there you can see it, that much play in this part. So this new one will help stiffen everything up because, as you can see, no play. These ends are very stiff. I can't move them with one hand right now. So this should solve my problems. And while I'm underneath here, I want to just clean off these tie rods. Eventually, I kind of want to take a bunch of this stuff apart and paint it all nice. I've seen some like really wild Japanese drift style stuff where all the components are painted different bright colors. And I think that would look really cool, especially when I repaint the van, because I think I'm going to go with a metallic black or just plain black. That would look really great, having all these extra components painted different colors. I just think that would be a really cool look, especially with a all black car. Now that I got this all cleaned up, I'm going to start putting everything back together. So I got all of the castle nuts and the cotter pins back in, and I have the inner tie rod ends torqued down to about 40 foot-pounds. That's just what they're rated at for a Civic, so I just did that because I don't have the ACTI specifications on hand, and then I tightened the Centerlink bolt just as far as I could go, and then mashed in the little key. And now I'm ready to work on the traction bars, but I have new bushings for those, so I'm gonna start to replace them now. So this is one of the traction bars, stabilizer bars, whatever you want to call it. It was just held on with two 14s on the lower control arm, and then with one 17 up at the front. So what I'm replacing are these two bushings up front. I just think any sort of stiffness will help me out in the long run. So I'm gonna replace those, zip it all back together, and call it a night. Quick correction, I was incorrect with saying that these bushings go on facing each other like this. So this first one actually goes on like this, and then the one on the front goes, like I said, into the cup like this. So just quick correction while doing the other side. I took it apart and that's how it was put on originally, so I'm gonna put it back together the same way. What is up, internet? So it's a couple days later after I finished fixing the van, and I haven't really been able to drive it too far. basically just out of my garage and into the driveway because I had to get the Datsun towed to my new house because the brakes aren't working very well, and I had to pull that into my garage. So it was just a little bit of musical cars, and now I'm back in the van about to head to work. So I get to finally see if fixing the center link is gonna fix my shaky steering problem. So let's check it out. So the speed limit in my neighborhood is pretty slow, so I won't be able to get up to speed until I get to one of the main roads to see if the steering wheel has been shaking. At its worst, it was doing it at around 55 or 50 kilometers an hour, which is a little above 35 miles an hour, which is not very good. So we'll see if we can get a little bit better than that and make the van highway worthy again. All right, so now we're cruising a little bit at about 66 kilometers an hour and no steering shake. I am so relieved because that was so annoying. Even when I let go of the wheel, nothing, and the alignment is pretty good. My steering wheel is a little off, so I might need to get the alignment checked, but I think we can call this a success. So even though I think I fixed the problem, I don't think I'm going to take it on the highway this morning, just to give it a little time, break in, and then maybe later tonight I can do a spanner check and make sure I tightened everything up nice and good, and next time I get paid I can order the correct tie rod ends, and that would even stiffen up the front steering even more. So that's incredible, and I'm so stoked that I was able to fix it and show y'all a little bit of the journey along the way.